Hello students, lecture 47. In this video lecture, we'll discuss about economic growth and development in democracies, reduction of inequality and poverty, and how do democracies accommodate social diversity. This is one of the most important article of this chapter, accommodation of social diversity in democracies. So first article is economic growth and development. Democracies, point number one to this, democracies are expected to produce a good government. Then it is not fair to expect that they would also produce development. If you consider all democracies and all dictatorship, if we compare all democracies and all dictatorship, we find that from 1950s onwards to till date, dictatorships are slightly better in terms of economic development because decision taking process takes time in democracies, and in dictatorship the decision is taken by one person. So this delay, economic decision delay, leads to development, low development. Second point to this, we can say that we cannot say that democracies are guarantee of economic development, but we can say that democracy is not to lag behind dictatorship in this regard. Here development is coming never means that democracies are not producing at all economic development, but they are slow, they are nearly just behind. So when we find such differences, then it is better to prefer democracies as it has several other positive outcomes compared to dictatorship. Third point in this we can mention, when we compare economically developed democracies, difference is high. In case of poor economic democracies, difference is very near, like in case of South Africa and Brazil. Most of the economic share is taken away by top 20% people only. So this is about the economic growth and development in democracies. Next article is reduction of inequality and poverty. Reduction of inequality and poverty. So democracies are based on political equality. So all individuals have equal weightage in electing their representatives. Parallel to this process of bringing individual into political arena, into political field on an equal footing, we find that growing economic inequalities surface. Second point in this we can mention that a small number of ultra rich, that is very high rich people, enjoy a highly disproportionate share of wealth and income. Not only that, their share in the total income of the country has been increasing. And third point in this, those at the bottom of the society, means the poor, have very little to depend upon. Their incomes have been declining, and sometimes they find it difficult to meet their basic needs in life, such as food, clothing, house, education, and health. In this regard, we can give example of our neighboring country, Bangladesh. Bangladesh being a democratic country, but economic and poverty is constantly increasing in this country. Next point in this regard, we can say that in actual life, democracies do not appear to be very successful in reducing economic inequalities. Poor constitute a large proportion of society, and they make a voters bank. So no party would like to lose their votes, so they keep this poor community to develop poorer and rich community to develop richer. And last point in this regard is, in real situation, it does not appear to be as interested in questioning the issue of poverty, but situation is much worse in some countries like Bangladesh, as we have already discussed. This country is dependent on for food, cloth, and for other basic amenities on countries, on rich countries or the neighboring countries. So this is how the inequality is resurfacing in democracies more. Next article is accommodation of social diversity, or question based on this question is, how do democracies accommodate social diversity? You should note down this question because this question is very important for 5 marks. So 5 points I have given here. So point number 1, democracy tries to lead a peaceful and harmonious life among citizens. Brotherhood, peaceful. We have seen that Belgium had successfully cleared the issue of social differences by accommodating each and every community in their governments at different levels and provided equal representation. Second point, no society can fully and permanently resolve the conflicts among different groups, but we can certainly learn to respect these differences, and we can also evolve a system, and conflict is thus a definite plus point of democratic system, that we should develop some mechanism, some system to resolve the conflict. Third point can be given as, it is necessary to understand that democracy is not only simply rule by majority opinion. Majority always needs to work with minority. Here, majority always needs to work with minority, so the government function to represent a general view. Otherwise, the situation will like in Sri Lanka. So majority and minority are the two opinions in democracies. Those who are today in majority may be in minority in future. So this thing should be taken care by democracies. Fourth point is, it is not necessary that to rule by majority does not become rule by majority community like Sri Lanka in terms of religion, race or linguistic group. Rule by majority means that in case of every decision or in case of every election, different people and groups may and can form majority at any point of time. It is the most outcome of democracies that the parties today which are ruling may be losing elections in future, or the parties which have ruled in past are today lost elections and they are performing the role of opposition party. And fifth point to this question can be mentioned as, democracy remains democracy as long as every citizen has a chance of being in majority at some point of time. Every individual I'm talking about. If someone is stopped being in majority on the basis of birth, language, caste, region or religion, then democracy rule ceases to be accommodative for that person or that group. So these 5 points can be mentioned, and the article is very important. Then last article of this chapter is dignity and freedom of citizens. In the beginning also we have discussed that assessment of democracy. So it is again the same point, that dignity and freedom of individual or the citizens. Democracy stand much superior to any other form of government in promoting dignity and freedom of the individual. Every individual wants to receive respect from their fellow beings. Often conflicts arise among individuals because some feel that they are not treated with due respect. So respect should be ensured, and democracies do ensure respect. Take the case of dignity of women. Most of the societies across the world are historically male dominated. Although population is all nearly 50%, so long struggle by women have created some sensitivity today that respect to and equal treatment of women are necessary ingredients of democratic society. That does not mean that women are actually always treated with respect, but one, the principle is recognized. It should be developed on the basis of principle. It becomes easier for women to wage struggle against what is now acceptable legally, morally, and democratically. Next point in this can be mentioned, democracy in India has strengthened the claim of disadvantaged and discriminated caste for equal status and equal opportunity. There are still cases of caste based discrimination, but these lack the moral and legal foundation as Indian constitution bans the untouchability. Next point can be given as the fact that the people are complaining is itself, complaints in democracy, complaints are itself a testimony, proof of to the success of democracy. It shows that people have developed awareness and ability to expect and to look critically at power holders, that is the leaders, and high and the mighty, the powerful. Other ways also, rich and powerful people are controlling sometimes the democratic institutions. Most individuals today believe that their vote make a difference to the way the government is run and to the way the government is formed, and they now understand the power of their vote. So that's all from this chapter, and keep on watching. In next video lecture we will discuss about the summary of this chapter. Thank you very much.